What's going on, everybody? It's Curl from the future, and I came to deliver a message, especially for you. Just for anybody that's new here, my channel is dedicated to you, but it's dedicated to individuals that are in the thick of things, but still trying to stay spiritually grounded while dealing with real life. And I'm not coming to you guys as somebody that's like already made it, but somebody that's also right there with you, dealing with real life. I'm in a wheeze with you. But as I said, I came to deliver a message, especially for you. And my message today, it's about this scientific concept of parallel realities, parallel dimensions. And usually, right, spirituality and science, they don't really coincide, right? There's usually a parallel between the two. Or a division between the two, I guess it would be better. And I'm here to take that concept from science and apply it to faith and find a way to get something out of that concept. So when we talk about the concept of a parallel reality, right? These different realities. Here's how I look at it. Imagine there's a brighter reality, a darker reality, and then there's a middle reality. A reality that's like autopilot. You can do things every day that will lead you to a possible brighter reality, or you can do things every day that can lead you to a negative, darker reality. You have the choice every single day in your hands. We make micro decisions every single day that can lead us to a brighter reality or lead us to a darker reality. You can also not make decisions and leave yourself on autopilot and branch in the middle reality that's leading to nowhere, unfulfillment. Here's an example. I was back in my early 20s. I'm a musician, so I was making music with my boy. We were working on this album. It was called Demon Slayers. At the time, I had just graduated college. I had got my bachelor's degree. It was in animation. It was in art. At the time, nobody really told me that a lot of art degrees don't really make it. I didn't have a lot of direction there. A lot of people who study art don't really make it, is what I mean. So I got my degree, and I was having a hard time finding work. I was looking, but nothing was really coming up. And a lot of the jobs were back in LA, and I'm living in Florida. Right now, I'm still living in Florida, but I lived in a different part. Anyway, at that time, I had to make some ends meet, so I was still working at Best Buy, Geek Squad, and me and my boy would be upstairs. We would be working on our music. In my closet I had some foam deposits and yada yada. That's not important. Anyhow, at the time, I remember we were working hard, really hard on that. And my biggest dream with that was that somehow it would take off. And I didn't really have the money. I didn't have the marketing or the marketing money or the funds to really make this dream happen. But I know how to produce, so I was able to have like a little, production suite where I was able to make the beats. And then we were able to write and record it. I'm a producer, so I do I know a lot about recording and audio engineering and whatnot. So all of that was okay, but trying to get the material out, right? We didn't really have a way to really get that material out. You have to have a budget. Like every artist has a budget to be able to market, to be able to get your stuff out. We didn't have that. So at the time, our biggest thing was maybe somebody will notice us. Maybe a Jay-Z will notice us. Maybe in higher up will see us on YouTube or blah, 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 and maybe we'll get noticed. And it was always this thought that somebody would help us out. Like we would work hard enough where somebody would notice us and they would save us. They would get us to the next platform, the next level. And we would do that, and it was fun. It was something that I enjoyed doing. I would go to sleep like with this thought in my head, like maybe I'll make it, maybe one day this will work out. And then I'll go to Best Buy. I would hate it. I would come home. Me and him would talk sometimes. And it just got to a certain point where I just hated it, man. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I literally was like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, what else can I do to get out of this situation? Because I hated it. So I remember I was like, well, I'm good at computers. I've been doing computer animation. So I know a little bit about computers. Maybe I can get into IT. That might be a good field. I could like learn some stuff there. Maybe I could like find a job at one of these like big companies. And I remember I told my friend about this. And it wasn't because he was demon possessed or he didn't want the best for me. But me and him had both went and got our bachelor's degrees. He didn't even actually finish, but I got my bachelor's degree. We went to the same school. So he was like, well, you know, you got your bachelor's degree. When I went to go talk to him, he was like, you got your bachelor's degree. It didn't work out. And he was like, what if that happens again? Maybe you shouldn't, you know, go back to school and get that master's degree. And when he said that, I had this thought that he might be right. What if I go back to school and I get this degree and it doesn't work out? I'm going to be in more debt. I'm going to be in a worse situation. And I almost decided to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And for some reason, I just decided to go ahead and do it. And to make a long story short, I'm here in the brighter reality. I got my own apartment. It's real nice. I like it a lot. I'm making 6 figures. I got a nice job. Hey, some things aren't perfect, but it's a lot better than Best Buy. I tell you that. Me and him, our album, we finished it, but it didn't really work out. We didn't really get to the point where we were actually putting the music out. But after the situation with him, I decided to do a solo thing, and I was able to actually take the money I made and fund it into my music career. And I was able to actually promote a lot of my music videos and a lot of different musical projects that I had. So that worked out for the best. And I just say this to say, when we take that idea of the parallel reality, right? Let's look at it like this. There's a reality that obviously I'm living in. That's like a higher reality where I decided to make that decision. I took that step. And every day I studied and every day I worked and I wrote those papers and blah, blah, blah. And I made micro steps every single day to get to my goal of getting an IT degree and getting a job in IT. But then there's the mid version of me that says, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe me getting this degree equals just more debt. So I just stay on autopilot. But maybe with the mid, right? Because it's mid, it's not the worst. Maybe I get a job at UPS or something. A little bit higher income, but I'm unfulfilled. I'm not happy. And then maybe there's the lower version of me that stays exactly where he was. And I don't know. Who knows what could have happened to that guy? Maybe nothing works out. Maybe I get even more depressed. Maybe I'm living with family majority of my life and it's not working out. Like, who knows what happens to that me in that timeline? I just say all of that to say the point of me showcasing all of that is not to brag. It's not to talk about this redemption story or etc. It's to basically say every single day we have to make micro decisions that put us in the best reality possible. we can stay on autopilot, not make any decisions, or make decisions that are so safe and easy that will lead us down a road of unfulfillment. Or we can make bad decisions every single day that lead us towards the darker road. My message here today is just to say that we need to start making micro decisions every single day that lead us to the promised land, that lead us to a brighter tomorrow where the birds are singing. Maybe every decision we make ultimately won't end up in that most bright reality, but I think every day those decisions will start to add up. And eventually, we can get to the places we want to get to. We can achieve the goals we want to achieve. But if we continue to make bad and poor decisions, or we continue to let our life go on autopilot towards an unfulfilled life, we might even wind up ending up in the darker road or in the unfulfilled straight line of unfulfillment, unhappiness. That's a dark path in itself, in my opinion. So every day, we have to make micro decisions that land us towards that brighter reality. This is why that concept to me is a beautiful concept that can actually be used for the greater good. Whether or not it's real, it's a theory that's just an idea that has no real basis, irrelevant. But the concept can be used for the greater good to showcase that there can be multiple realities. Maybe there's one reality where you're unhappy now, but you travel to Japan and you start you a vlog and things work out. But maybe there's a darker reality where you are unfulfilled. You don't make any decisions that need to be made. You don't make decisions that might be risk because you're scared, you're afraid. Or maybe you're waiting on someone to save you. You're waiting on your Jesus to save you. And I'm sorry to say, nobody's coming to save you. Jesus is not here today. You have to save yourself. You have to make decisions every single day of your life to take you into that reality that you're looking for. Stop waiting on someone else. I was waiting. Maybe I'll make this album with my boy and Jay-Z will hear it. Or maybe blah, blah, blah will hear it. Or maybe X, Y, and Z will hear it. No one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Once I got that degree and I got that job, I was able to save myself. I was able to put out my own music the way I wanted to put it out. Don't look for someone to save you. Save yourself. Jesus, the Trinity, they have put the tools in front of us to be able to do the things we need to do with our own lives. Stop waiting for people to save you. Stop waiting for something to happen and make it happen yourself. Make micro decisions every day that can lead you to that brighter tomorrow. That's my message for today. I actually wanted to expand a little bit more, but I'm looking at the clock. I've already went 14 minutes. That's long enough. So I came to deliver a message. I believe I delivered that message. And that's all I got to say. And I'll see you guys in the future. Peace.